Hey, what is going on, guys? This is Tharshey and welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we have a full economic guide to war era. So hope you guys do enjoy this video, and if you do, please do drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to turn on those post notifications. Anyways, before we get into it, I just want to say I have left a link to the game if you do want to try it out, both in the video description as well as the pinned comment. Anyways, let's get straight into it. Okay guys, so this is going to be a complete guide to building your economy. Now, I'm going to try and make it quick and not ramble on too much. So I'm going to go through things quickly, but I will also go through things step by step and explain it so that you are not lost. If you do get lost at any point, just go back and rewatch the section. I will leave chapters, to each different topic that we do cover. Now, starting off, the first thing we're going to look at is your companies, because your companies are your backbone of your economy. So how do companies work? What are they? What do you need to know about them? Well, you're going to click on the bottom right where it says companies, and it's going to open up a tab over here. Now, the first thing you're going to see at the top, okay, you won't see it like this. You will see a button that says find a job, and that just means that is a company that you can work at and they will pay you wages. So quickly just explaining that, you are going to click find a job. The highest company that you see in the list will be the one paying the most. Make sure it doesn't have a high number in green. Green is income tax. So basically, if you're going to earn 10 and they're going to take 10%, they're going to take $1 away from every 10 you earn. So yeah, I'm paid 0.136 per production point, and the company taxes 4% off that, for every production point I work in this company. So just try to find something that offers a high salary and has low taxes. Now that's going to be your job. You'll spam your work button whenever you can, and that's all you need to worry about for that. Now, your main way of making money is going to be through your companies. So unlike me, who has 9 companies and 4 workers, you are going to have 0 out of 4 workers and 1 out of 2 companies. Now, workers are not worth it, okay? In 99% of the situations you're going to find yourself in, especially as a new player to about level 20, maybe 25, workers are not worth it, okay? If you want to understand how they work and all of that, ask in your country chat, ask in your country Discord, etc. when you're a higher level, and they will explain all of that to you. But for a beginner, when you're starting out level 0 to level 15, level 0 to even level 20, I do not recommend getting any workers at all. It's just going to cost you more money than what you're making, okay? Now, what are companies and how do they work? Well, very simply, companies produce items. You can then take those items and sell them on the market. As you can see, that means you're going to make money, okay? So for example, this company is Iron Inc. 1. Iron Inc. 1 produces iron. I can then take that iron and sell it on the market, and iron is worth 0.08 gold each. However, what you can also do is make a production chain. What I mean by that is have one company produce iron and then one company produce steel, because steel requires iron to make. As you can see over here, steel is worth 1.61, but instead of needing, so if we have a look at iron needs 1 production point only to make 1 iron. Steel needs 10 production points plus 10 iron to make 1 steel, but then you can sell that steel at 1.61 each. So what you're going to want to do is your first company will always be a raw material. So when I say raw material, I'm just going to quickly click build a company just to show you what I mean. Raw materials are these materials over here, the ones that are in gray. So limestone, iron, wood, petroleum, grain, livestock, fish, lead, and mysterious plants, okay? All your finished items, your finished products are the ones that are in green, blue, and purple. Green is like oil, paper, steel, concrete, all the different food items, the different bullet types, as well as pills, okay? Now, the next thing we're going to talk about is how to actually get that second company, okay? To get a second company, you're going to start out with 50 concrete. To get another company, you're going to need 100 concrete, okay? It will tell you how much concrete you need, but when you scroll to the bottom and you say build a company, it'll tell you, okay, I need 500 concrete for this next company. You are going to only start off with 50 in your inventory, so you're going to need to get another 50. To get the other 50, you can either sell items that you do have, or if you don't want to touch any of that because you're afraid of messing something up, all you do is you produce items from the one company you start with, and you sell those items until you have enough for a second company. Plus, you'll also be earning wages whenever you click work, at the top here for your employer. So you'll make money from your employer, you'll make money from selling the base items you start with, and that will allow you to then buy concrete from the market. Once you have enough concrete, you can come and build a second company. Now, when you want to build a second company, if you click build a company, right, you're going to see a bunch of items. These are all the items you can produce. Now, assuming your starting company is, for example, limestone, I would say build a concrete company next. Assuming your starting company is iron, I would say build a steel company next, and so on and so forth. So you want to have one company making the raw item, one company making the finished item. Now that is this top part. Next up is company name. Very simple. Name the company whatever you want. You can rename it at a later stage. And then next up, you have recommended regions. A recommended region is simply a region where you get bonus production for an item. So for example, if I had to pick grain currently and I build my company and I select Ansaranana. I'm hoping I'm pronounced that right. But if I select that as my region, for the next 3 days, 14 hours, and 2 minutes, I will get plus 60% production points. So remember I said 1 iron requires 1 production point, 1 steel requires 10 production points, right? So if you have a bonus over here, every time you click work or anytime your workers click work in your company, whatever production they would have produced, for example, let's say I was going to make 10 production points, it will get a 60% bonus to that. So I'll probably end up producing 16 production points. So basically, the highest production you can get for your company is good because it will allow you to make more production points from the same amount of work. Now, you can see that there's also a number in green. Number in green is simply income tax. That's taxes taken by the government, and it only counts for workers that you have in your company. So if you don't have any workers in your company, like I said, you shouldn't have until you at least level 20 or 25. You don't really need to worry about the income tax. All you need to worry about is the production bonus and the timer next to it. Now, the timer next to it is a deposit. So, for example, in Ansaranana, there is a deposit of grain. It's grain, right? Yeah, a deposit of grain. Now, in 3 days, that deposit will disappear. And when that disappears, you will lose that 30% of that 60% bonus. So you have to always be careful of that. And if possible, try to find a region where there's no timer. If there's no timer, that means that bonus is permanent. For example, let's say I click steel. Yeah, perfect. Let's say I want to make a new steel company, right? If I build a steel company in Slavonia, I will get a 55% production bonus, and there's no timer next to it like there was for grain, which means that this production bonus will be there permanently unless the country gets captured or taken over or loses something that gives the country that production bonus. So for you making your second company, all you're going to do is pick your item, name your company, pick one of the recommended regions. Remember to go for the highest production bonus, lowest income tax if possible, and make sure it's an area without a timer. And then you will click buy the company and you will have a second company built. Now you will have 2 companies. So you'll have your iron company and you will have your steel company. Now your iron company will take 1 production to make 1 iron. And all you'll do is you'll click produce over here. That will make you the iron. As you can see, I had 10 production. It's made me 10 iron. Now, next up, I can go to my steel company. Steel needs 10 production plus 10 iron to make a single steel. So I have nearly 20 production. Right now it's only 19, so I'll only be able to take 10 production, take 10 of the steel, click produce, and I make 1 iron. I can then go sell that iron on the market, or I can do whatever I want with that iron. So that is the absolute basics to doing a company, guys. That's how you do it, okay? That's how you build a company. That's all the items you need for a company. And, the items you need, it's the concrete. It'll increase by 50 for every company. So it'll go 100, 150, 200, all the way up, as you keep on making more companies. But, that's okay. But now next up, let's talk about what do you actually do now, okay? What's the actual aim? What should you be doing with your companies? Because you can keep on doing that, you could just go, you've made your second company, you can go unlock more companies in your skills. Let me just show you that actually, in case you don't know. So if you go to your skills, guys, and you scroll down to the bottom, these are your economic skills, and this skill here, companies limit, enables you to own more companies. So if you only have the first point down put in, that gives you 3 total companies. If you do the next one, that's 4, 5 total companies, 6 total companies, etc., all the way to 12 companies max. Now, let's say you do have more companies unlocked. Now the next thing you're going to want to do is continue making more and more companies, and that the reason for this I will explain just now is because when you have multiple companies, you have an automated engine. The automated engine automatically produces production points every day, or should I say every hour. Those automated production points can then be used to produce items. So what do I mean by that? What am I talking about? Let me quickly show you. So if you look at any of your companies, you'll see there's the production bonus, the income tax, and then there's a little wheel cog and a little shed icon. If you click on that, it will take you to this page. When you scroll down, you will see automated engine and storage. Storage is the max amount of production the company can store before, it stops producing anymore. Once it hits your max storage, it won't produce anymore unless you come and click produce, because you can't let your storage fill up. Now, automated engine produces a certain amount of production points per day. At level 1, it produces 24 production points per day, which means if you log off for 24 hours and you come back, your company will have 24 production automatically there ready for you to use on any products. If you have level 2, it will produce 48 per day. Level 3, 72. Level 4, 96. Level 5, it'll produce 120 points. Level 6, it'll produce 144 production points per day. Now remember, this also costs something to upgrade. So to upgrade it each time, it's going to cost you iron. Level 2 costs 20, not iron, steel. Level 2 costs 20 steel, level 3 costs 40 steel, level 4 costs 80 steel, level 5 costs 160 steel, level 6 costs 320, and level 7 costs 640 steel. Now, my recommendations is this. Every time you build a new company, immediately try and get it to automated engine level 5, okay? Now, level 5 is going to take a bit longer, so I would say when you're starting out, first build up your first company, build up your second company. When you have 2 companies, try and maybe get them both to automated engine 4. Try and get a third company, try and get a fourth company, okay? Then try to keep your production line going. So maybe get iron and steel, then go limestone and concrete. Or you could just do one. If you don't want to do that, you can do one. You can just do iron, steel, steel. And something like that, right? And when you get your new companies, upgrade the automated engine at least to level 4, okay? At least to level 4, because the automated engine is going to be giving you free production points every time, every single hour by hour, it's going to just keep producing more and more production points. Now, once you get to about 6 companies, okay, so when you have 6 companies, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, once you have 6 total companies, I would say don't get any more companies until your automated engines for those 6 companies are at level 5 or even level 6, okay? Now, it's up to you how far you want to go, but my advice is go automated engine 4 on every company until you have 6 companies. Then go from automated engine 4 to automated engine 5 or 6 on your 6 companies. Once you have 6 companies with automated engine 6, then you can go ahead and, build a 7th or 8th or 9th company at your discretion. When I say at your discretion, I just mean, if you're gonna, depending on, how many companies you want to have in your eco phase, because when you do switch to a wall build or a sustainable wall build data, you'll probably have most of your companies disabled. So you'll probably only have a maximum of 5 or 6 companies enabled while you're in a war build, which means that if you have 10 companies unlocked currently and you build 10 companies and they're all automated engine 6, and then you switch to a sustainable build and you only have 6 companies active, your other 4 companies are going to just be there deactivated, not producing anything. All the stuff you invested into it is not going to be paying you back. So my advice, 1 company at a time, all the way up to automated engine 4 until you have 6 companies. At 6 companies, get all your automated engine levels to 6. And that's going to allow you to earn 144 production per day automatically per a company, which you can then use to produce whatever items you want. So right now, as you can see, my companies at least my first 6 companies are all automated engine 6, automated engine 6, automated engine 6, 6, 6, and 6. My other companies are only level 5, and I'm not going to put them up any further because it would be a waste since I am going to be deactivating those companies soon. Now, another thing, if I don't know if I mentioned it, but storage is also important. Storage means the max amount of production that you can store. For example, if like as you see, right? So currently I have some energy to click work at the company I'm working for. If it would work, there we go. And that fills up the bar. It's now going to 60 production out of 1000 total. Now, let's say your company is only got base storage, right? Basic storage is only 200 storage. So if your bar fills up and it's 200 out of 200 and you don't log in to click produce, your automated engine will not continue producing above that threshold. So you have to empty the company storage, make sure it's below 200 so that it can continue producing stuff for you. So what you can do is upgrade storage as well. I wouldn't recommend past like level 2 storage. Level 2 storage should honestly be enough for anyone because you should be logging in at least twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening as a brand new player who is in eco mode. So that would be my advice. Get automated engine 6 and get storage level 2 at max for every company that you have. The only time you want more storage is if you have workers in it. But even then, again, I said don't bother with workers until you're a much higher level. Just because workers are usually not profitable and will cost you more than you actually make from them. But yeah, I'm just going to go click produce all over here and produce some resources. Now, if I go over to the resources I made, we can see that I've got a bunch of iron. So I could come over here and I could go and sell iron. Now, if I sell all 65 iron, that's going to make me 100 gold. And that is why I said companies are going to be the backbone of your economy, because if you have all those companies built up, if you have them all upgraded, and remember, upgrades do cost steel, so you are going to have to invest and buy steel and invest into those companies. They will slowly pay you back though. And when they pay back, you are going to start making good profit from them. So that is the number one thing to focus on, guys. Get 6 companies, get them to automated engine 6, and get them producing materials for you. If you can produce your raw materials and then make them into finished products and sell that, great. If you don't want to do that and you just rather buy raw materials off the market and only make the finished product, that is also another choice that you can do. I personally prefer making my raw materials and my finished products myself, if possible. Now, the next way to make money, okay, and I'm only going to briefly touch on this because this is not something that you are really going to have to worry about as a lower level. This is more for only once you're a high level player in wars, but I'm just going to briefly touch on it because, it can help you make a little bit of extra cash here and there, and you can sell that, to buy more steel so that you can upgrade your companies further, or, buy more concrete to build your companies a bit quicker. And that is, you can earn scraps and chests from doing attacks. So for example, if I go over here, right, and I attack for Germany, Germany has a bounty available. So I will earn a slight amount of gold for doing damage for them, but I'm not going to do that because they're my enemy. So I'm going to just click over here. Unfortunately, I didn't get any luck, but as you can see, every time you click attack, there is a chance that you can earn scraps, or you can even get a crate drop. Now, if you get scraps, you can then take the scraps and you can sell them on the market. So I could sell all the scraps and make some money. So whenever you click attacks, you will have the chance of looting a little bit of scrap. If you get scrap, you can then sell it on the market. And the same thing can happen with crates. When you click attack, you could get a crate drop. You can then go on, it will appear in your inventory. You can go and you can also sell the crate on the market just to make some extra money. But I just wanted to touch on that. I just wanted to mention it because it is a thing, but it's not something that you are going to have to worry too much about, because your main production is going to be building up your companies, upgrading your automated engine level, and having your companies outputting goods, producing lots of goods that you can then sell for gold. Now, next up, let's go and have a proper look at skills, okay? Because this is actually very, very, very important for you. So when you are doing a eco build, basically what anybody should be doing if they're under level 20, I would say continue it even to level 25 if you can. But when you are starting out, so level 1 to about level 15, level 20, even 25, you should be doing a full eco build. Now, what that means is all your skill points should only go into economic skills, okay? I've put a couple skill points in here. I mean, honestly, don't bother with that. Just put all your skill points into economic skills. Now, economic skills have a order of value. So, number one, the most important skill is going to be production, okay? Because production affects energy. Energy basically is you doing work for other companies. Entrepreneurship is you doing work for your own company. So if your production skill is higher, you will do more work for the company you work at, which means they will pay you more, because remember, you get paid for the amount of production you do. And then if you have higher production and you clicking work on your own companies, you're going to be doing more production and more work for yourself. So the number one skill to upgrade is production. Number two is energy. Number three is entrepreneurship. Companies is also very important, but this you upgrade as you need it. So if you are ready to unlock, for example, a third company, then what you're going to do is put one skill point in. Let's say you've built up your third company now and you feel like you're ready to unlock a fourth company, you'll put a skill point into this and unlock a fourth company. And you'll do that, to unlock your fifth company as well as your sixth company. So a company limit, you only upgrade when you need that extra company, when you have the resources to build a new company and actually upgrade it. But from your other three skills, put production is number one, it's the most important. Energy is number two, second most important. Entrepreneurship is number three. Management, don't bother putting any points in. It's not worth it. Again, that just increases the total amount of workers you can have, and workers are not profitable, especially for brand new players starting out, okay? If you're level 20, don't even consider a worker. If you're level 20, 25, if you somehow find a cheap worker, or you find something that's worth producing even with a worker and makes you some profit, you can do that. But again, that's a whole different story. This is a complete guide, but a beginner's guide first and foremost. So those are the skills you're going to want to focus. Ignore all these other skills, okay? It's not worth it. Don't do it. It's not going to work out well for you. And the reason I'm saying this and the reason I'm highlighting this is because so many people don't do that. For example, if I look at my own friends list, for example, and let's do that. Let's go to profile. Let me go to referrals so I can look at people, right? Let's see. Who do I... For example, one of my friends, right? So Killer Rover. So he is level 11, right? But if you look at his skills, look at that. Look at those skills. It's horrible. So he's level 11. He's got a bad economy. He's not making a lot of money, but he's only making 16 production per click. He's only got a total of 40 energy, which means 4 clicks that he can do for the job he's at. And he's got 45 entrepreneurship, which means a couple extra clicks for himself. But either way, all the clicks he's doing is only going to be producing a base of 16 production. In the meantime, he's got a whole bunch of points into other stuff, which is not worth it. If we look at my skills, however, let's go to my skills and go up, go to skills and scroll down. Each of my clicks will do 31 production. I can click 9 times at my job, and I can click 6 times or whatever at my own companies. So that is why I said production number 1, energy number 2, entrepreneurship number 3. So those are the economic skills you're going to want to run, okay? If you are unsure, just literally copy mine, okay? Just upgrade it in a line, make sure production is first, upgrade your work second, upgrade your entrepreneurship third, and build up your companies until you have 6 companies at least at automated engine 5, or again, automated engine 6. You will make some extra money, from fighting and stuff, but honestly, until you have those 6 companies built, sell any of the extra gear, especially stuff that is blue gear and above. Just sell it, okay? If you have any gear that's blue and above, just sell it for the money, or scrap it and sell the scraps, and use that money to buy more concrete, to build more companies until you have 6 companies, or to buy more steel until your automated engines on each company is level 6. But yeah, that was just a basic economic guide, just covering everything you need to know about your companies, how to build them, how to, pick your production type, how to pick the item you're producing, how production bonuses work, how to pick a region that gives you a good production bonus, bits about income tax as well, just in case that you needed to know that, and then obviously how to actually build your skills. So I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, please do drop a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in the next video. And finally, I would just like to give a massive shout out and a heartfelt thank you to all my YouTube members who go above and beyond in supporting the channel and helping to make this all possible. Your continued support truly means the world to me, and I genuinely appreciate each and every one of you. Konnichiwa.